Hi everyone, this is the Changing China. Welcome to our channel, The Changing China, a channel to discover and explore latest issues and news from China. To lead you to learn about latest development of China. That is the reason why our channel exists. Every day, we will update a video to introduce the latest top news about China, and we will take you to learn about what a real China is. Okay, let's move on to today's topic.
Today, let's focus on the issue of Eileen Gu, new Sino-US Olympic Superstar. During the Chinese Olympic Games, the publicity about a public person is overwhelming. TV, shopping malls, advertisements are full of posters about her. She is well-known Chinese and American superstar Eileen Gu. This 19-year-old, mixed-race Chinese-American girl is at the peak of her debut. She can obviously rely on her looks to eat, but her strength is stronger than her looks. With her wonderful appearance at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, more and more people have fallen in love with this mixed-race girl with a Beijing accent. Why she can got everyone's no matter Chinese, even the global people's favor. Why she can swiftly become a superstar just within a month. On February 8, Eileen Gu landed firmly in the last jump of the Beijing Winter Olympics Grand Jumping Arena, as if to symbolize the landing of a superstar in the public eye. Chinese player Eileen Gu won another silver medal with a score of 86.23 in the women's freestyle skiing slope obstacle skills final at the Beijing Winter Olympics just concluded on February 15. But before winning the gold and silver medals in succession, Eileen Gu has already appeared on TV, bus stops, elevators, supermarket shelves, and even the covers of fashion magazines in a crushing attitude. Brands who have successfully bet on her have made her represent the brand image intensively. After the official start of the Winter Olympics, on social networks, people are discussing her growth trajectory, life details, family education, and path choices. This young girl, born in 2003, has become the first generation after 2000s in China's vision because of her transcendent sports performance and the spirit of the younger generation reflected in her character, image, and the growing superstar. Superstars only have meaning under the sky of the times, and when we look closely, Eileen Gu's eyes reflect those times, and we will find that she is not only an outstanding athlete, but also regarded as an educational role model. She is the perfect girl in the eyes of thousands of middle-class families who send their children to cram schools, interest classes, and study abroad. As an athlete, in the competitive sports industry where injuries and honor are equally important, what this young athlete has broken is a traditional narrative of suffering, and it is the love of skiing itself that drives her to continue to challenge. As a comment that was widely circulated later said, Eileen Gu does not have the slightest bit of bitterness to drain herself and gamble, but a vibrant desire to win. In the competition, until the last second, Eileen Gu chose the ultra-high difficulty of 1620 in the final jump of the women's freestyle skiing platform final, rejecting her mother's suggestion to make her do 1440 to strive for the silver medal, which is undoubtedly a very challenging sexual choice, because in previous training she had never even done it on the snow or on a trampoline. Before this, only her opponent Tess Rudd had challenged. It was a big gamble, and she won. My mentality in the game is not to win others, I want to win myself. So whether I do this move and finally fall, success or not, failure, I will be proud of myself. I challenge this move. I just want the world to see what's on my mind, she said. Have fun and enjoy the game. These are probably the most frequent expressions in Eileen Gu's growth and competition career. She started skiing at the age of 3, one of her own chosen hobbies. In her eyes, skiing is no different from other hobbies, and even learning comes before skiing. She also enjoys trail running, football, basketball, archery, horseback riding, and rock climbing. The same is true of Su Yiming, another post-00s skier in China. He and Eileen Gu have known each other since they were teenagers. When he just won a silver medal in his Winter Olympics, he shouted to his friends who were about to participate in the final, "Have fun. They are very good." When doing these ice and snow sports, you can feel that they are like and happy from the heart. Zhang Xiaobo, the director who once aimed the filming of the documentary Juvenile Chronicles at the two, felt that Su Yiming's success with Eileen Gu cannot be simply summed up as the family has money to train. Through Eileen Gu, witnessing a person being able to respect their inner desires and doing their best for love has also inspired many Chinese people older than Eileen Gu to have a dormant passion in their hearts, thinking that they have not done it, even never found it dream. And this dream was not mainstream at first. When Eileen Gu first came into contact with skiing in China as a child, the freestyle skiing circle in China was still very small. In her words, there may not be 100 people in total. Almost all people in the country who are engaged in this sport know each other. And now the growth rate of this circle has reached an unimaginable level. For most people who only paid close attention to ice and snow events for the first time through the Winter Olympics, such extreme sports are a window to observe human capabilities breaking through boundaries. There seems to be no science fiction about ice and snow sports in China. I'm trying to put a person like Eileen Gu into a story. Science fiction writer Han Song wrote his idea on Weibo after watching the game. That game, the ultimate game that decides the fate of mankind, will be held in Antarctica. This may also be the value of China's active hosting of the Winter Olympics, driving a group of naturalized athletes such as Eileen Gu to represent China and driving 300 million people to participate in the ice and snow sports. This allows people to see the significance of the new generation of athletes, and also influences more post-00s to achieve themselves in ice and snow sports, and even more sports and arts. At the same time, many people highly identify with Eileen Gu, and she has shown her contempt for gender prejudice through practical actions, giving more women encouragement and inspiration. At the age of 12, Eileen Gu mentioned in a speech at school that when she participated in the freestyle ski team, she was the only girl in the team. Sports and independence did not exist in the traditional female image, but she spent 3 years prove his strength and change the prejudice of his teammates. The video of this speech was swiped on social media, and most of the users who left the message were women, and the first commenter wrote, "Girls can do anything. My greatest hope for all teenagers, especially girls, is for everyone to get in touch, to try, and to find the love of ice and snow sports. Through ice and snow sports, I can learn about myself, challenge myself, break boundaries, and meet friends, to do something that was never thought to be done before." And Eileen Gu's deeper leap is to cross the very different cultures and societies of China and the United States. The globalization and integration characteristics she presents are exactly what many Chinese parents are looking forward to for the next generation. The Guardian called her a bicultural star. It may be difficult for you to find an individual like Eileen Gu who has blended the Chinese and Western cultures of the millennial generation so wonderfully among the athletes and idol artists in the past. A young girl with a mixed-race face who speaks Beijing Mandarin as her native language, like a typical American high school student, with authentic Beijing life experience and cultural identity. This contrast is also the source of her unique temperament. Born in San Francisco, USA, but spends summer vacation in Beijing almost every year. In her growth trajectory, there are not only elite lifestyles such as interest training for the American middle class, private schools, and vacations, but also the experience of tutoring in the Olympiad in Huangzhuang, Haidian, Beijing, which allows Chinese people to understand in seconds. She subtly influences her American companions. In the documentary, Eileen Gu's American coach also learned quite authentic Chinese expressions in the communication with her, and even the internet language, using she is a China 250 to joke, and also using 666 come cheer her on. When faced with a challenging question about Sino-US relations raised by foreign media, Eileen Gu gave the answer: I can do a backflip in a U-shaped snow field with a height of about 7 meters. That is not politics, but a challenge to the limits of human beings, to connect humanity. Eileen Gu's speech and values are also footnotes for the reshaping of the values of the younger generation in the process of China's move towards inclusiveness and opening up. It represents the appearance of a generation that grew up in China's rapid economic growth since the reform and opening up, highly educated, with an international vision, with their own expertise outside of learning, and with fully personalized expressions. All parents are discussing the possibility of becoming Eileen Gu, not themselves, of course, but their children. All in all, Eileen Gu is a talented athlete with excellent personal conditions, commercial value, and sports value. Brand marketing must conform to social value recognition, and now the requirements for athletes are not only it is to have a high level of competition, but also need to have high knowledge, high energy, and good looks, such as good learning, high emotional intelligence, and a fashionable and healthy appearance. Sports ability is its basic, but it also requires him to have all-round talents as an idol. Thanks for watching our video. If you love our videos, please share them with your friends.